Hello and welcome, I'm Tim and this is SV Paquita. Come along almost every week, whenever I get a chance to post a video, and follow along as I try to make the transition from being a professional lifelong mariner to cruising a sailboat, mostly offshore, but sometimes in the coastal waters. Right now we're in New England and we're getting ready to go through the Cape Cod Canal and head up towards Maine. Spend the rest of the season in the Gulf of Maine. So come along, strap in, and hope you like it. Good morning. Well, sun's right in my eyes there. Good morning. Well, some of you might have figured out we are in Watch Hill, and we made it down from Falmouth, and it's a nice, beautiful Friday morning. It was a little chilly last night. I've got the boat buttoned up and just turned the heater on so you can see where the enclosure here is all fogged up. All that heavy breathing. Anyway, enjoying my coffee. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that's kind of, that I suppose isn't unique to sailing. It's probably, you could probably find this in anything in life. This is just really super special to me right here, right now. And you know, I'm debating whether or not I should put it this way or not. I'm still waking up, so forgive me. But you know, I think of John F. Kennedy. You know, I'm not old enough to remember the speech in live, but I've seen it and read it, and we all know this well enough. But when he said that, when he was talking about going to the moon, he didn't say we went to the moon because it was easy, that we went to the moon because it was hard. And that's the spirit of what I want to talk to you about this morning. Yeah, we left the other day, and we got our asses beat. I mean, like I say, there was never a problem with any danger or anything like that. But you know, Paquita is much stronger than we are, that's for sure. But it was a very, very miserable and unhappy ride from about, I think we left at around 11 in the morning at Falmouth until we pulled into the canal around 6:30 in the morning. There wasn't really much of an enjoyable time at all during that whole period, and as it went, it got worse and worse and worse. This wasn't really that big a surprise. It was all, everything was forecasted that way. I continued to make the same mistakes over and over again, and usually I was starting to develop something that I'm calling a pattern of mistaken optimism, where I get so excited where I look at a weather, or in this case a wind forecast, and I see what I want to see, and I get very excited about it, and it turns out it's not what I want because I was not looking at it properly. Let me explain. My friend Sean Waite, I've talked about him before. You guys may have even seen him in a couple of videos, but he's a captain that works for me. He was talking to me before I left, and he's a great friend. I like to think that he's watching because he was worried about me, but he might be watching because he's interested. I don't know. But anyway, before I left, he says, "Hey Tim, have you seen the weather?" And I go, "Yeah." I said, "It's gonna be fair winds. It's gonna be right behind us the whole time. We're gonna have 20 knots. It's gonna be beautiful. Maybe 25 knots. We're gonna go." He goes, "Oh, it's probably gonna be. You're gonna go green water all the way." That was his line. It's gonna be a green water trip. And I go, "Ha ha ha." Well, I'm not saying that I didn't look at the waves and all that sort of stuff, but here's my problem. being a new sailor and being somebody from, the tugboating side, I saw that wind directly behind us and I got so excited. Those of you that have followed this channel have known that I have a problem sailing downwind. I never thought I'd say this, but I am really preferring sailing upwind than downwind lately. And maybe you guys in the comments could tell me, is this me or is this the boat? But this boat, in 20 to 25 knots of wind, putting out a spinnaker is not, that's not even a thought. That's never going to happen. With that much wind, I can't even put out a whisker pole. And so you say, okay, no problem. It's directly behind you. You can go wing and wing, or you could just fly the Jenny. If I were talking to myself, I would have said, no problem. You have plenty of wind. You just fly the Jenny. You'll be making 7, 8 knots the whole way. It'll be pulling you ahead. It'll be great. All that's wonderful. Except the Gulf of Maine is notorious for being where the big boys play. And a lot of waves. Ian had just come through, and NOAA was said right in the NOAA forecast 6 to 8 foot, and it was all of 6 to 8 foot. But what was really weird about it was that they were the most confused seas. I don't want to say the most I've ever seen, but it's different when you work on a tugboat. You're on a 350-ton boat, steel, that's drawing 14 feet of draft. It's not the same intimacy as being on a fiberglass boat right on the water. So when the seas are confused here, man, I tend to notice a lot more here than I do on the tugboat. Anyway, so when you roll off of, the seas are coming behind you and you roll down one way and roll the other way, the mast, we've talked about this in almost every video because, many of you are seasoned veterans, sailors, people that have so much more experience than I do. And some of you are coming along because you might feel that you're like me, that this is something that you want to do and you have to learn. So hopefully you can learn through my mistakes. So what happens is, it's the speed of the mast. If the wind is blowing 20 knots and the boat is heeled over and the wind's going like this, and if you fall off of a wave and the boat rolls over this way, when the boat falls off of the wave, because the mast is 58 feet up, it'll snap back the other way, and the speed of the top of the mast and the majority of the sail goes faster than that 20 knots. So you'll go the opposite direction, or you go the same direction as the wind, faster than the wind. So the sail will luff. Instead of having the pressure on it this way, it goes flat, and then it curves the other way as it goes this way. Then when it hits there, then it goes bang and hits the other side. So it's really nasty is what I'm trying to say. And all you guys who've been sailing all your lives, you're like, Tim, shut up. We know this. I'm sorry. Still waking up. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make, and it's taken me, I get sidetracked, I apologize, but the thing I'm trying to tell you is, there is something so magical about going through a horrific time like that. And like I say, it was never life-threatening, it was never dangerous, it was just miserable, and it was cold and wet and dark, and at least if you're getting your ass kicked going to Puerto Rico, the sun's shining. Oh no, it was miserable. Anyway, we get here, we're in Watch Hill last night, right around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, get on our mooring, and I was able to take a shower, able to have a shave, had a nice dinner. Crystalina and I went to bed at probably about 8 o'clock. And I just woke up a little while ago, and that is really uncommon for a 56-year-old man. Usually I have to wake up every 3 or 4 hours. And I've never slept so good, and everything is still, and everything is quiet, and everything is wonderful. And I go in and make my coffee, Crystalina's still in bed. And there is something so magical about this trip that you can't You can't judge just on the time when we were getting our ass kicked. The trip encompasses everything, even the next morning, waking up here. And, you know, to let you know, Crysalida had an unfortunate accident, not on the boat, but before, when she was at my dad's house, she was carrying a suitcase up the stairs. I had been delayed. She landed, and I was supposed to be there like an hour later, but because of the weather problem down in New York, I didn't show up until 6 hours later. So she carried a suitcase upstairs, and in doing so, she really destroyed her shoulder somehow. So we have to go take a look at that at the doctor's. But anyway, Crystalita's out of capacity, so she's all laid out over here. And I had to run the boat for the entire time coming down here, so I hadn't slept in a couple days, and it was miserable, but you fight through it. And I just wanted to share with you that amazing feeling. The sun is up, the water's still, the boat is rock solid. To think that this boat moved at all, it's unfathomable. How does that happen? And just a few hours, literally a few hours ago, this thing was standing on its tail. We were going every which way. And it's a beautiful feeling. And I hope that whatever your passion is in life, whatever you do, remember that it's not, the payoff isn't just the good times. When we have the bad times and we get through, the good times are that much, and my Puerto Rican friends would say, more gooder. Or more better. More better is what Victor always says. Anyway, I don't know. I'm sure you guys don't listen to hear my BS talking, but it's so special, and it's such a special morning, and after going through what we did, it's so nice to wake up and have such a beautiful thing. I'm going to take a cup of coffee and just show you how beautiful the water is here. And the plan is that we stay here for a few more days, and then I'm back to work. And then when I come back, me and a patron will be sailing from here down to Norfolk, and then Crysalida will sail down and switch out with the patron, and he'll go home, and Crysalida and I will be headed down the intercoastal. So hopefully we'll see you guys there. You guys, thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate your support and your comments, and you guys have been a lot of help. And please remember, I'm still learning. I know you guys know more than I do, so hook me up. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what I can do right, or what I can do more better. All right. Take care, you guys. As always, stay safe, and I'll see you on the one.